Have you ever wondered why we crave certain people so intensely, yet grow cold toward others who once consumed our every thought? Why love can feel like fate one day and a mystery the next? The truth is, your relationships aren't just emotional, they're neurological experiments happening in real time. And the results depend on one hidden variable that psychology has only recently begun to understand: the brain's addiction to novelty. We've been told that love thrives on trust, communication, and shared values, and that's true. But deep underneath those layers, your brain is wired to seek stimulation. It rewards what's new, uncertain, or unpredictable. That's why early attraction feels electric. It's not just hormones, it's dopamine chasing mystery. The brain loves what it can't fully predict. Here's the dark twist. As soon as we begin to understand someone, when their patterns become predictable, dopamine starts to fade. It's not that love dies. It's that the brain stops being chemically surprised. That's why long-term relationships often struggle. Not because the love is gone, but because the novelty loop has closed. Psychologists like Dr. Arthur Aaron and Helen Fisher have studied this for decades. Aaron's research on interpersonal closeness found that couples who engage in new, even slightly risky activities together reignite attraction, because they trigger the same brain circuits activated during the early stages of love. Meanwhile, Fisher's MRI studies show that passion and novelty literally share neural pathways, meaning what we call falling in love might just be your brain chasing its favorite drug: uncertainty. This explains why some people are drawn to toxic or emotionally unavailable partners. It's not just trauma bonding, it's neurological suspense. The unpredictability of being wanted one moment and ignored the next creates a potent emotional roller coaster that mimics the thrill of early love. You don't consciously choose it, your brain does. Each push and pull becomes a dopamine drop, reinforcing the loop even when it hurts. Now here's where it gets darker and more fascinating. Researchers at the University of California found that the amygdala, the part of your brain tied to fear and excitement, responds more strongly to new emotional stimuli than to familiar ones. That means emotional volatility can actually keep people bonded longer, especially if one partner uses it strategically. In the language of dark psychology, that's not romance, it's manipulation. Think about it. The partner who creates uncertainty, who oscillates between warmth and withdrawal, is effectively hacking your brain's prediction system. You keep chasing emotional clarity because your mind equates resolution with relief, but the relief never comes. That's how emotional control works. It's not about power, it's about timing. They don't need to dominate you. They just need to stay unpredictable enough to keep your dopamine waiting for the next hit. But here's the paradox. Novelty can also be used consciously, in healthy ways. When both people understand how the brain craves emotional variety, they can design experiences that keep the connection alive without manipulation. Playful unpredictability, shared curiosity, emotional honesty mixed with mystery. Because genuine intimacy isn't the absence of surprise, it's the safety to explore it together. In a moment, I'll show you how this knowledge can completely shift how you see your relationships and why recognizing these psychological triggers might be the most powerful form of freedom you'll ever experience. Here's where most people get it wrong. They think breaking free from toxic emotional loops means cutting feelings off, suppressing attraction, becoming cold. But that's not mastery, it's avoidance. The real skill is being able to see the mechanics while you're inside them. To understand your own reactions so deeply that even when someone tries to play with your emotions, you can watch the pattern unfold without being trapped by it. Because once you can name what's happening, the spell breaks. You stop feeling like a victim of emotion and start observing emotion as data. Every surge of excitement, every pang of jealousy, every craving for validation becomes a signal. My dopamine system is looking for closure, and when you recognize that, you reclaim control of the loop. The manipulation loses its edge. This awareness is what psychologists now call meta-emotional intelligence, the ability to step outside your feelings and notice their architecture. It's not just emotional intelligence, it's emotional X-ray vision. You see where your patterns come from, how they get triggered, and who benefits when they do. And that's where the dynamic shifts completely. Because once you reach that level of awareness, manipulators can't hook you anymore. They rely on your reactivity. The moment you stop reacting and start reflecting, they lose access to your reward system. You don't feed the loop, and they move on to someone more responsive. Quiet power is the most terrifying thing to a manipulator because it can't be predicted, controlled, or provoked. Now let's bring this full circle. Remember how we said novelty drives desire? When you become self-aware, when you observe your emotions instead of drowning in them, you become unpredictable again, but this time on your own terms. You introduce novelty into the system consciously. You don't chase it, you embody it. Your calm becomes mysterious. Your detachment becomes magnetic. That's how you flip the dynamic. You become the one who defines the rhythm. It's fascinating and a bit unsettling that this mirrors the same mechanism that once controlled you. The human brain is endlessly adaptive. The very circuits that kept you addicted to emotional chaos can, with awareness, make you irresistibly composed, not because you're playing a role, but because you've stopped confusing intensity with intimacy. One of the most interesting findings from Dr. Ethan Kross at the University of Michigan shows that when people analyze their emotional states from a third-person perspective, like observing themselves in a film, it reduces activity in the amygdala and increases activation in the prefrontal cortex. Translation: you can literally retrain your brain to feel without being ruled by what you feel. That's not detachment. That's evolution. So when you meet someone new, someone who sparks curiosity, chemistry, that little rush of unpredictability, remember, attraction isn't a spell. It's a feedback loop between novelty and familiarity. Keep both in balance and you stay grounded. Lose it, and the other person becomes your drug. And here's the beautiful irony. When you no longer need someone to give you that chemical thrill, your presence becomes the most addictive thing in the room. Because real power isn't about control, it's about clarity. You see through the illusion, and that's what makes you untouchable. If this resonated with you, subscribe to Twilens, where we uncover the hidden mechanisms behind human behavior, desire, and control. Understanding the psychology of connection doesn't just protect your mind, it frees it. Because when you can decode your own patterns, no one else gets to write your story.